A huge thank you to every one of you who has left a comment, subscribed and liked one of our videos. This bubble tutorial video is for you if you have left a comment on any of our OpenAI videos asking how can I set up recommended replies or predictive text replies in a ChatGPT clone or basically any chat app. It doesn't even have to be an AI chat app. So in this bubble tutorial, I'm going to demonstrate how we can give our user a selection of replies and allow them to quickly reply, save them having to type in a reply based on some recommended responses. So I've got my ChatGPT clone app here built in Bubble, and you need to go and check out some of my previous videos to see how I've got to this point, because right now I'm going to jump in by creating a second prompt in the API connector. So I'm going into workflow. No, I'm not. I'm going into plugins, and I'm going to add in another call. And I'm going to call this get recommended replies, and it's post. And so I'm going to copy the endpoint from my call that's already working. I'm changing it to an action because I want to access it in my workflow. And then I'm just adding the header, just copying and pasting it across. Yeah, that can actually remain private. And then I'm just going to dip into the OpenAI documentation to get the structure that I need. I'll do something like that. Copy. Paste. I'm actually missing a load. Let me copy that bit. Copy there, from there, into here. And then instead of copying it from the documentation, I'm actually going to copy the demo value that I have, and then clear up the spaces. Okay, because I initially started recording this video thinking I'll just combine it in with my actual chat prompt. So when my ChatGPT clone that I've built in Bubble sends a message, it basically compiles a list of messages, what I send and what ChatGPT OpenAI replies, and then I get a big list of messages and I insert them into here. That's how you get the wonderful historical context aware, previous message aware conversations that you can get with OpenAI. But and then I thought, I'll just kind of ask for a reply, and then I'll ask for some suggested replies all in the same message, and I just thought that's going to get quite messy. So instead, I'm just going to set up a separate call. And so the role here is actually going to be user, and I'm going to say based on no, actually I'm going to put all of this into arbitrary text and JSON safe to make it JSON safe. So JSON safe adds in quote speech marks around it. So actually I need to set it up like this. So this will be my I'll say reply request. Reply request. And I need to initialize it, so I need to write at least some sort of message in here saying suggest 3 replies to my message about France. And I'm just putting in a bit of test data here so that I can successfully initialize the call through the API connector, and check that I've got no mistakes in my JSON. Good. Okay, it's worked. The call's returned back. There's no errors with my JSON. So I'm going to click save. Right, now I'm going to go into my workflow. So when my send button is clicked, here's what currently happens. And again, check out my previous videos about OpenAI ChatGPT clones to learn more about this. But this is the message that the user creates. Then I send the request to OpenAI with all the historical messages. I reset the inputs and I create a new message based on the response from OpenAI. So actually, in here, I'm going to add in my most recent request to get recommended replies. And I'm going to use arbitrary text here so that I can make it all JSON safe. And I'll say in here, you are a text prediction. I call it engine. Not sure why I'm picking engine. Text prediction engine in my chat app. Write three possible replies to this message. Format as, I'll just say reply 1, reply 2, reply 3. And then I'll say previous message, then open speech marks, and in here I'm going to insert the reply from step 2, because that's my initial OpenAI call. That's where I actually get the chat messages back. So I choices, first item, message content. Cool. Then I need a way. Okay, I need a way to check that that's working. So I'm actually just going to do it step by step, and I'm not saving this response just yet. In fact, I will save the response. I will go into here and I shall say suggested replies. And it's going to be a list of text. And so I'm going to set the list to be, basically I need to have my prompt good enough that I get back a guaranteed structure. And so in here I'm saying format as reply. How should I do this? I basically just need to test it and see how well it works. I'll say only reply with the suggestions and format as, because sometimes OpenAI can put a little bit of a preamble or like a prefix in there, and that can really skew us when we're trying to extract data from it. Now I'm not sure here whether it's going to reply with reply 1, reply 2. I'm basically trying to say, I'll just say I won't say format as, suggestions. I'll say only reply to suggestions with each suggestion on a new line. Okay, I think that's giving me a good chance to get this right. Right, so then in here, I'm going to take the response from result 4, choices, first item, message content, and then I'm going to say split by. So the message content hopefully will just be the text containing my 3 replies, and then I'm going to say split by line break. So then suggested replies set list is going to be my 3 replies as 3 separate text blocks in my list of text. So I'm going to test that, make sure that works before I start to add the UI in. So I'll say recommend 3 things to do in Paris. Okay, something's gone wrong there. Let's debug it. So I'll go into data, have a look at my messages, refresh the data. Okay, I'm going to do it step by step. Something has not worked in the workflow because it hasn't reset my inputs. There's going to be an error here. This needs to be JSON safe. There we go. Recommend 3 things to do in Paris. That's better. So now I'm going to check to see whether this message in my database has got the suggested text. So in data, Here it is. And yeah, we've got suggested replies. So I'm going to update my prompt a little bit, and I'm going to say in my arbitrary text, write 3 possible replies. I'm going to say write 3 possible brief replies to this message. Right. That's working. Obviously, the prompt can be improved. But now, how do I add it into my design? So let's just check to see how I've laid all this out. Right, we've got our repeating group and we've got our input here. So I need to add in a repeating group above it. And this is going to be 1 row, any number of columns. Let's make it width 100%. And it's going to be type content text, and it's going to be data source is going to be my my repeating group here. Last message. So what's this? Repeating group message. You can get list of messages. Last message. Because that will be the message that is the latest reply from OpenAI. And then it will be suggested replies. And that's my list of text. Because it's accepted, it's gone blue from red. And then I'm going to add in the replies. So it'll be current text. And this will be column. Width, just say width 100%. That's all that will do. This is very roughly designed. Height is 20. I've got some padding or margin there. Let's make that 8. Let's make this 20. Okay, I'm going to test that. And I'm just going to check to see why that's not working there. List of text is empty. Okay, this is because I'm using a plugin that reverses my repeating group so it's more chat-like. Again, check out previous video on how to reverse it. So actually, my data source is going to be first item. Okay, and there are my different replies, all available and ready to go. So how do I now insert that into my conversation? Well, I'm going to add an action to when it's clicked. And I want to link this in with my send action here. So I'm going to change this into a custom event. And a custom event is a great way for me to reduce the chance of me repeating myself. We want to develop our bubble apps in a lean manner where we don't repeat ourselves, same as if we were doing traditional coding. So I'm going to create a custom event because that allows me to basically insert a text variable and then run all the following steps after that. So I'll call this one send message. And then the input will be text. And that will be of type text. And so then I'll take everything that's in send and I'm going to copy it into here. Copy. Copy. Oh, I'm not getting paste. Bubble being buggy. Copy. Let's try that again. Okay, I'll try doing replace by another type. And can I do custom event? Create a custom event. Yeah. Right. I've converted the workflow into a custom event now. So let's say this would be send message. Can delete that. Right. And there is an input variable, which is going to be text, because that's the message that I'm sending as the user. Conversation will be, probably label it page body. I'm just using a group to hold the conversation. There we go. Right, check all this is not broken. Yeah, that's fine. So, all I'm changing here is instead of saying multi-line input value, I'm going to say it's text. Then when send is clicked, I trigger my custom event, and my text for the send button is multi-line input. But when my suggested text is clicked, I trigger custom event. And this time it's current sales text. Right. Let's try that. I'm going to start a new conversation, and I'm going to say, what are the 3 best cities to visit in Europe? Okay, I'm getting some sort of error. I made a mistake. Probably send message. Right. That's all good. Right, I'm going to run it step by step. Checking each bit. Right, I have a conversation. I have the text. Nothing's being sent to OpenAI. Let's check out why that is. Or has it worked in this case? No, it's not worked. Oh, conversation's broken there. Right, page, body, conversation. Right, okay. I'm going to keep this in because hopefully it shows you some of the debugging process, even though this is becoming quite a long video. Right, refresh that. I'm going to delete that conversation, add a new conversation in. Recommend 3 cities to visit in Europe. Okay, just waiting on the OpenAI API here. Okay, so it gives us 3 possible responses, and it has accurately picked up we're going to Barcelona, Prague, or Amsterdam. And of course, my prompt for the suggested replies, I put brief in there. Clearly, brief is not making it brief enough, but let's check that this works. So if I click on Barcelona, it sends the message, and hopefully it's going to get a reply back. Yep, now the formatting is going a little bit off with how it's getting my suggested. So you need to improve the suggested or get replies prompt that I've got, but hopefully by this point in the video, you've have implemented it. Now, if you're learning Bubble and you want to find out more about working with Bubble and AI, the best place to do that is to head over to our website, planetnocode.com, where we've got hundreds of Bubble tutorial videos exclusive to our members and to our community. So if you want to learn Bubble and you want to do it quickly, head over to planetnocode.com.